I want to ask you a question. Where do you get your theology? What's your source? And most folks would say probably from the Word, but many times that's a desire, but not actually the truth. We get a lot of our theology from the people that we're part of in fellowship. We interpret God through their lens many times and through their interpretation of Scripture, and nothing wrong with that. Not here to criticize that. But you know that the word theology or theologian doesn't even appear in Scripture. It's not in the original language. It's a word and description we've created. And a lot of our theology comes from an educational basis, academic field, where somebody will go to a citadel of higher learning and they'll capture some theologians' thoughts, and then they'll bring those back home and share them with you. And again, nothing wrong with that. But it's not how it was done in the Scripture. Theology in the Scripture was formed from within 5 equipping gifts that Paul mentioned in Ephesians 4. Apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher. And from within the sphere of those 5 equipping gifts, theologies were developed, or understandings of God. And an apostle is going to give you a different perspective of theology than a pastor. He'll see the blueprint, the big blueprint. Evangelists will see it differently than a teacher, and so on. So these different gifts will take one truth and they'll look at it from 5 different aspects. That gives the church a rounded theology. It doesn't come just from an academic pursuit of somebody who may have a teaching gift and have some letters behind their name, well earned, but pretty much formed a theology in isolation. And that's why it's critical for the church to have a theology that shows the reflection of the 5 equipping gifts. Because my theology needs to have an apostolic flavor, a prophetic flavor, a pastoral, evangelistic, and teaching flavor. That's what we call well-rounded theology. And in America, Western culture primarily, we have pastor-driven churches. And nothing wrong with that. I did it for a lot of years myself. But later in my ministry, I realized how much of a deficit I had. That I needed apostolic blueprints. I needed prophetic words of encouragement. I needed an evangelist once in a while to come and show the church how to recruit to the blueprint. Pastor functions primarily in a pastoral gift or teaching gift. And what happens to the church has become lopsided. We really need a theology that's a 5-fold theology. A theology of apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher, that will see each point of truth from 5 unique perspectives. And like a fine gem, it refracts light and reflects light in different ways. That's what I want for you today. It's what I want for me. Is we need to truly have a theology formed in the relationship of the 5-fold ministry. Not in a distant citadel of higher education, but a place where we really work this thing out. That's where your theology is going to get a lot of traction in the earth, in the culture, and in your personal life. Take care. See you later.